You will become addicted to television, to families that look so different than your own. You will envy the parent-child relationships, the way the parents are so approachable, the love between them. You will rarely go home, but when you do, you will always be drowning, clamoring for air. There will be so much want there. I always say poetry is air because I think it's something I can't live without. Like, I credit poetry for saving my life.
At a young age, Texas center Imani McGee-Stafford found solace in words and refuge in basketball.
In traffic, gets the bucket in one.
McGee-Stafford again for Texas, on fire.
The daughter of Olympic gold medalist and WNBA player Pamela McGee, and a father who played professionally overseas, her dominance on the court seemed almost predestined.
You know, the first time I put her in the YMCA league when she was a kid, she could barely walk and chew gum at that time. So, but she became serious and wanted to play at middle school. At that age, I think that was kind of an outlet for her.
A lot of basketball for me growing up at first was just like getting attention. Because somebody, like my dad would come to every game and like just knowing that like I could get people to come pay attention to me.
For the most part, she was a happy child, full of love. But then there were some dark areas in her life as well that began to surface.
No, PSA will bring me back, so they won't even try. 1 in 65,000 ages 10 to 14 will mimic my fate.
Imani was a 10-year-old struggling with her parents' divorce when she first attempted suicide. In high school, she would try twice more. Her third attempt came upon the realization that as a child, she had been molested by a family member.
Senior year, I started having really bad nightmares and just remembering things that I had probably repressed or just not really been aware of.
About 2 years ago, she told me this part of it. It was as if a hole was ripped out of my heart. Because, you know, she told me that it was happening over a course of several years, and I knew nothing about it.
I lashed out. I was like a walking cry for help. I got suspended from high school. There was just a lot happening at that time, and I overdosed. I went to the hospital, and I was committed for about almost 2 weeks. And that was a lot. I basically took a really long look at myself because like I had everything in high school and it was really easy to me. And I almost threw it all away.
But she hadn't. In the summer of 2012, basketball would take her to the University of Texas, where she would earn Big 12 Freshman of the Year honors. That spring, Imani would attend a poetry festival and discover the true power of her voice.
I walked into a slam, literally, and they were like, "So this is a slam. Like, do you know what a slam is?" And I really was like, "I don't know what a slam is."
Slam poetry is a poetry competition. It's just you, your words, the microphone, and the audience.
They were like, "Well, you know, you should just get up." At that time, like, I wrote all my poetry on my phone, so I just got up and read the poems off my phone. 13-year-old girl, you are beautiful. They would no longer call you too tall, big lip, stretched, olive oil, ugly.
When I heard her words, I'm like, you're good. You're really good.
Wow, people like this stuff? What? Like, I can write? Somebody, like, really caring about what I'm saying. Like, wow. The final slam of my first year, somebody came up to me and was like, "Oh my gosh, a line in your poem. Like, I'm gonna go tell my best friend that tonight." Like, and I think the line was like, "You would try to convince God that he has it all wrong. He should have called you to be with him years ago. But when you are too coward to slit your wrist, poetry will save you." And she's like been contemplating suicide, and like, I'm just gonna tell her like this poem, like, you said like 3 lines, and I can't wait to go home and tell her, like, and like, that's why you do it, you know what I mean? Like, that feels great, like, that's amazing.
She would dedicate her off-season to competitive slam poetry, but she was initially hesitant to share her story with her basketball team. That changed the summer after her sophomore year, when Imani invited them to hear her perform.
Sometimes I think your fingertips burn holes in my skin, and my boyfriend gentle caresses only covering it up. Then now, when I finally have someone who loves me, who deserves to enjoy my body, I picture you. I think of you, of your hot breath on my back.
As she was doing it, it just brought chills to you because you can tell she really meant every word. We were all just really surprised. We were like, wow, we didn't know Imani went through that.
To my first boyfriend, thank you for being the first boy to put your hands on my heart before my body. To my daddy, I'm sorry it took me so long to tell you, to be honest. It took me a while to tell myself.
She didn't have to open up to us. And it just touched my heart, just hearing her pour out her emotions like that.
I think it's super important, not just for myself and my experience, just because of the platform it gives youth to go someplace and know that they're heard, that someone else understands, that someone's been through it, and they're like, really like it gets better.
Don't forget me. Don't let this minute pass you by. Don't forget these words.
Nothing can eliminate that painful experience in her life. But if using this as a venue to really meet the needs of other people who have gone through such traumatic and devastating experiences, if that is what gives her life some more meaning, then I'm all for it.
I've been giving this stage because I'm a suicide survivor. I'm a molestation survivor. Like, I've done this, you know what I mean? And I think when I was ready to die and I was ready to kill myself, I didn't have anybody that done it. I didn't have anybody that understood. The third time I tried to kill myself, I survived. And to me, like, there's a reason. There's a reason I'm still here. This is my reason. I've always been a story waiting to be told, a survivor, waiting to be a hero.